Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, I want to ask you a question. Who are your favorite preachers? So for me, I don't listen to a lot of speakers nowadays because on Sunday mornings I'm usually preaching and I find books better. So I have my favorites. So people know people like Max Lucado, John Ortberg, Paul David Tripp has been a new one for me. I've got a long list of people who are my favorite preachers. But I was challenged by something that Paul David Tripp said recently, and that is that who is the person, instead of say preach, although it's a form of preaching, who do you listen to the most? And some of you would say, oh, it's this person or it's that person. Tripp says it's you. You listen to yourself the most. We have self-dialogue all the time. We're always talking to ourselves. We worry about this, and it's like, oh, we either deal with it or in a positive way, or we don't. And we're just constantly having a conversation with ourselves. Now, we try to keep our lips from moving. I remember it was around the year 2000, and I was down in Lincoln Park. It was at Big Bowl, a nice, let us entertain you, Asian place. And I was there with a friend, and there was this woman sitting there by herself at like one of those half booth tables, chair booth. She's on the booth side, still remember it. And she's just talking away, and I mean, it's one thing to say a little something, but and then she'd be quiet, and then she's just talking again and laughing, her hands are going. I'm just like something's wrong with this person. First time I ever saw on the other side what I couldn't see, eventually I saw there's a wire hanging down. So she wasn't talking to herself. But here's the truth. We are constantly talking to ourselves. Every day, you preach to yourself some kind of gospel. A false, I can't do this gospel, or the true, I have all I need in Christ gospel. Off the top of your head, which one is you? Oh, it depends on the day. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yep. It sure does. So what have you been saying to yourself about yourself? What have you been saying to yourself about God? What have you been saying to yourself about life? About the meaning and the purpose of life. What's right, what's wrong, what's true, what's false, what's good, what's bad. You ever realize you let something slip in and it's like, then you realize, oh, like that's false. That's a false premise. Why was I all upset? You ever get upset because you think somebody said something and then you find out that they didn't say it at all? In Psalm 42, we're invited to eavesdrop. That's what a lot of the Psalms are. We're listening to somebody else's self-talk. The psalmist was always preaching some kind of gospel to himself. We either preach to ourselves the gospel of, I'm alone, I'm poor, I'm impoverished, I have no ability. Or we preach a gospel to ourselves of, I'm never alone. God's with me, His presence, His power, and He will provide in whatever situation I'm in. Okay, it sounds all good until you get thrown out of the frying pan into the fire, so to speak. So today, when it feels like no one understands, what gospel will you preach to yourself? Yeah, just today. It might be, nobody understands what I'm going through. As you face physical sickness, the loss of a job, the disloyalty of a friend, what kind of message will you speak to yourself? When you're tempted to give way to despondency or fear, what will you say? Sometimes that's why, just like in the morning, just reading a devotional. I mean, I've been studying the Bible for a long, long time, but I still like one-page devotionals. They get me going in the right direction. You might think, oh, preachers need to, read a whole book of the Bible. No, I just need a verse sometimes to point me in the right direction. So sometimes life is unfair, it's hard. What are you going to say to yourself? You're dealing with parenting issues, marriage issues. What are you going to preach to yourself? I love that David learned how to encourage himself in the Lord, but we're either encouraging ourselves or discouraging ourselves. When your dreams elude you, what are you going to say to yourself? It really is true that no one talks to you more than you do. So, God, in His grace, has given you His Word so that you can preach to yourself what is true in those moments when the only one who is talking to you is you. God bless you. Have a great week.